wanted to speak about today is the Dyslexia Support Course that I co-facilitate with my colleague Claire Ashmore here from New Zealand. And we talk about in this course is a reframing of dyslexia. When we're confused, as I'm experiencing at the moment, live streaming on Facebook and Zoom at the same time, dyslexics find reading, understanding, writing, and other symbol-based activities really difficult. And constantly we feel confused, and that adds to the burden for dyslexics. So Ron Davis has provided a method, a pathway out of that world of confusion using the natural talents of dyslexics. So picture thinking and creativity. And one of the commitments I have in co-facilitating the Dyslexia Support Course with Claire Ashmore is to support parents, grandparents, tutors, and teachers of bright but struggling learners. Those often really creative, really quirky young people, and they're often really neurodiverse as well. And that's what I'm going to share about today. I believe the online course is something that people can participate in from all around the world. We've had people from North America, Africa, Europe, as well as Australia and New Zealand participate in this course. And it's something that you can get immense value from as a parent or a grandparent from the comfort of your home. So you don't have to go anywhere to do the course. So here's an overview of the course. The course is live. It's not pre-recorded. It's a participatory course. It's online, so really convenient. It's facilitated by myself and Claire Ashmore, also from New Zealand. So two licensed, highly expert dyslexia facilitators. It's interactive, so we encourage group sharing and participation. It's very engaging. It's hands-on. We actually do quite a bit of clay modeling during the course, and it's really practical. Why the tools that we teach in the course are so powerful, they're all about self-regulation. Learning to self-regulate or self-calibrate every time you use the Davis tools, you're recalibrating your nervous system. Young children often can't see the big picture. They just can't see that their friends are reading or doing something else and that they're not, and why that is. They just don't know. And it turns into an anxiety or often a question mark about their own capacities, their own abilities, and ultimately they start to question perhaps their own intelligence. So we teach several of these self-regulation or focus tools during the course, and you can then teach these tools to your young ones or your teenagers or even to adults. So in our last course, we had two seniors in the course. They're both grandmothers, and both of them had spouses who were dyslexic. And they did the course to better understand and support their dyslexic husbands, but also their children and their grandchildren. There was a lot of neurodiversity in both families. This then enables you to take these tools, and it sets up a conversation in a family about each day taking a breath, recalibrating, and knowing practically how to be calm. In the Dyslexia Support Course, we give the exact instructions on how to calm down. It's no use telling someone who is distressed, just calm down. You know where that goes. But having self-regulation tools allows you to be able to take that moment, take that breath, and self-regulate your energy and your perceptions, and then all of a sudden things resolve themselves a lot more easily. And when we have neurodivergent people in our lives, there's a lot going on. They're often very high energy, have short attention spans, can jump from one thing to another. It can be a busy, sometimes chaotic management challenge for families with neurodivergent members. So the focus tools that we work with are a game changer for families. And for young people, being able to use the focus tools when the stress levels are just going up. Tests and exams, what someone said about them on social media, these all bring additional sensory overload for our beautiful neurodivergent learners. For them to be able to focus their energies, focus their attention, and be able to relax and then be able to go to sleep is totally a game changer. Look, pretty much every client that I come across is not getting enough sleep, and they're not getting good quality sleep, and their brains are not functioning as best they can with that sleep deficit. In my journeys with incarcerated learners and then in the Indigenous education spaces, I saw so many young people who had not learned self-regulation skills, and they could easily flip into some kind of reaction. When that becomes a habit, it can spill out beyond them. It starts to impact others beyond them, and they start to get excluded in some way, whether from their peer group or school, from home or the workplace, or ultimately even excluded from society. And it's one of my personal commitments in doing the work that I do is ending that cycle of dysregulation, winding people up in trouble when it really just doesn't need to. Our dyslexic symptoms can also express sometimes as quiet behaviour. The child who sits at the back of the room, or they might just staying under the radar in class. Self-regulation can also impact their capacity to stay awake, pay attention, or sleep well. So it can drive anxious behaviours. That really affects their capacity to focus and learn well in school. These tools can also help support people so they can co-regulate with their young person and everyone stays a lot calmer in the family. We address the root causes of confusion. Ron Davis's famous quote is, "Dyslexia doesn't cause confusion, but confusion causes dyslexia." For example, the confusion a dyslexic person experiences when reading a page can be as dramatic as the feeling you have when you suddenly step off the merry-go-round. You can feel a bit head spinny or nauseous or a bit out of it. So it's no wonder that dyslexic learners experience the page going fuzzy, or they get their letters muddled up. So removing the root causes or addressing them, we're interested in them being able to use their self-regulation tools to help with focus and then reduce the confusion. When you feel competent in yourself, you feel confident in your capacities as well. This adds to our self-esteem. And when we can say to ourselves, I know how to deal with confusion and learning when it comes at me, and I can learn and do what I want to do, then naturally our belief in ourselves increases. Doing it the way our brain is naturally wired, neurodivergent people have extraordinary brains. Research shows that 20 to 40% of people have some kind of neurodiverse brain. These are the architects, the designers, the actors, the entrepreneurs of the world. And yet our education system, being more word and sound-based, is not designed to serve that kind of creative, picture-thinking brain. It's a glitch in the interface between how a neurodivergent brain works and the words world that is our education system. Being able to switch between the words world and the picture-thinking world is really powerful. It's really helpful for families to understand this important difference. Dyslexia can come through the family intergenerationally. Being able to acknowledge the strengths and talents in the family rather than see it as a deficit or a problem, those dyslexic symptoms just naturally fall away and you're left with clarity and happy, productive learners. And who doesn't want that? Succeeding in life, succeeding at school. I'm going to briefly step through some of the methods we use to help address the reading aspect of dyslexia. There's this phenomenon called homophones in our beautiful English language, where words sound the same, but they're spelled slightly different and they mean something different. So for example, here we've got the word by, which means near or beside something. Then you've got the word buy, which means to exchange something, usually for money. And then bye, as in goodbye, I'm leaving. And so we help people go through the process of modeling these words so that they have clarity on the different meanings and spellings of those words. Now, these are the little words on the basic word list. For dyslexics, if there's not a clear picture connected to the meaning, then it's going to show up as blanks or confusions. We want the foundation of these basic words in place first before addressing some of the bigger words. One of the big words we've got is germinate. As children go through into secondary schooling, they hit these larger subject-specific vocabulary words, and they're expected to learn how to spell them, what they mean, how to use them, and how to regurgitate them in a coherent way in tests and in essays. It is the bane of dyslexic teenagers' existence, learning all this vocabulary and all of the meaning packed in behind it. So we also work with a method called Davis symbol mastery to unpack the meaning of these words, create these models based on the definition. So you can see here the definition for germinate is for a seed or spore to begin to grow and put out shoots and leaves after a period of dormancy. So it takes a little bit of unpacking to do that, but we teach parents and tutors how to do that in the course, and it's like a revelation for them. In summary, in the course, we spend our time equally between those focus tools that I talked about before, modelling those, basic word list words, and then with these more complex vocabulary words. And we also work on a special method of reading using pictures to help retain what we've read. You get 6 two-hour live online sessions with 2 facilitators. So there's a picture here of Claire. We provide resources and support throughout the course. It's heartbreaking to hear our young people say, maybe I'm just too dumb to learn. That's the saddest thing that I can hear from young people because of the mismatch between how their brains work and how our education system typically teaches, that they conclude that they're dumb or stupid because there are many solutions, and this course is a great pathway to those solutions. So I say to people, make the investment in your young person today so that they have the opportunity to really thrive at school in their life and go on and be the best version of themselves in whatever that they're doing in life.